I'm Michelle. Welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, I want to talk about 4 resume fails. I've been looking at a lot of resumes lately because we had some open positions, and there were some things that just jumped right out at me that you might not think about or might think that they are somewhat trivial. However, if you have one of these in your resume, it may just cause you to go into the discard pile rather than the follow-up, check references, and interview pile, and we want you to be in that pile. So the first one of these 4 is spelling. Please check your spelling. Don't rely on spell check. Make sure that you've got the spacing right and everything is spelled right. The next thing is your employment history. It should start with your most recent position and work backward on the page. And you want to avoid gaps. You want to have a continuous history for at least the last 6 years, 5 or 6 years. But if there are huge gaps in there, then you need to provide some type of an explanation. Likewise, if you have job hopped, you might not want to put all of those jobs in there. Use your discretion. You don't want to misrepresent yourself. However, be prepared to answer questions about very short periods of time, especially in the same city that you have multiple jobs. You want the job history to adequately reflect what you actually did, what you actually know how to do. You want to show yourself in the best light, but you don't want to misrepresent your qualifications or your experience, because that can come back to bite you later. It's much better not to get a call back or not to get an interview for something rather than to be fired. So make sure that your employment history is there. Now, the next thing is make sure that there's enough information for the person to tell what you did at your prior job and what experience you have. You can go overboard and overload them with unnecessary information, extracurricular activities, charity functions, community events, hobbies. That's really not going to pertain to most jobs. However, the quality of your experience, your position, your responsibilities, and your accomplishments in your past positions is something that they're looking for. So look at it, edit, throw the whole kitchen sink in. It's better, you can always take away, it's harder to add. So throw everything down as you're preparing your resume and then pull back. Look at the content, avoid duplication, be succinct, and make sure that there's enough that ties to that particular job to show that you're qualified. And then the last one is please meet the requirements. There's nothing more frustrating to someone in personnel who is looking at resumes than seeing someone completely miss the requirements, applying for the wrong job, applying in the wrong city, not meeting certain, if there's a licensure requirement. Those types of things are really not going to serve you well. If you have the qualifications and there are multiple positions and you don't get the first one, you may still be in line for another position, or they may be interested in hanging on to your resume, especially if you have industry-specific experience. If you blatantly miss the mark and then a position becomes available in that same company where you really are qualified, they're going to remember. You would be surprised, but you remember things that are really missing the mark or really out in left field. You really should apply for things that you are eligible for, you're available to be hired for, and that you can actually do, either at a basic level and then grow into the position or with the qualifications already. So I hope that these 4 things are helpful to you so that you can get into the good pile, the callback pile, get that interview, and get that new job. Good luck. If this was helpful to you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might be interested in this topic. Check out our playlists for the other topics, leave a comment, either good or bad. And feedback is always helpful. If you'd like to see more of these videos on a regular basis, hit the subscribe button, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.